Hi everyone. Um, so instead of sitting here and bitching like I usually do and complaining about evil and like this fucking war like everybody else is, I just decided to channel my anger into questions that I wrote. Um Like, I don't know what to do with these feelings. Oh my God, I just want to punch walls. I really just want to like unleash and like punch some walls, but I'm older and I'm pretty sure I'll break my bones in my fingers if I do that, so I'm just not going to, and that's the truth. That's really what is stopping me from punching a wall. No, that's really not the truth. Like, I'm mature and I did therapy, and that's not how you deal with your feelings. But like, I'm so fucking pissed, and it's like, how am I supposed to deal with this on a regular basis? And I'm not even in the thick of it. I'm not even being like absolutely 100% directly impacted by a lot of the fucking bullshit going on around in this country and now the fucking world. Other than like everything's expensive. Like that does directly impact me, but like I don't have anybody that I know that's in this stupid fucking decision war that evil dick decided was a good idea. So I just channeled some of my anger into like questions. Do with them what you want or don't. I just need to like this sounds weird, but it makes sense in my brain to just put these questions out there, and because I feel like we don't ask these enough anyways, and then I'm just gonna move on. Um so why the fuck do humans keep finding new ways to kill each other instead of new ways to understand each other? How many lives have to disappear before we admit that war rarely solves the problems it claims to solve? Who actually wins a war when the price is measured in graves and trauma and generations that never get to exist? Why is it easier for leaders to send people to die than it is for them to sit in a room and admit they were wrong? If every soldier is someone's child, then how do we keep pretending that the enemy isn't fucking human? At what point did killing strangers become a patriotic duty instead of a moral tragedy? Why do borders on a map matter more than the beating hearts of the people living on both sides of them? How many wars start because of pride, ego, or fear dressed up as national interest? If we can invent technology capable of destroying the planet, why can't we invent systems that stop us from wanting to? What does victory even mean when the survivors carry the scars for the rest of their lives? Why do the people who decide wars are rarely the ones who have to fucking fight them? If history keeps showing us the cost of war, then why do we keep acting surprised by the outcome? And I don't know if any of this made sense why I shared all of this, but like if I stay in this headspace this entire time on this episode, then we're all gonna need fucking therapy by the end of it. And so I'm just gonna say what I just said and then move on because this is sad. And I feel like I don't want this war. I don't want people to die. I'm just disgusted and disappointed and probably however else the rest of you guys are feeling. Like this is not I mean, it's hard for me to imagine that like this isn't new. It's new to me and to a lot of us, but there's people that have grown up in circumstances like this. There are people who like currently live like this on a regular basis, like it's their life, it's just the norm, like rights being taken away, hate, cruelty, and like how are you supposed to exist like this, with just this occurring so in your face and like you can't escape it. Not that I think it should be hidden and we should be ignorant about it, but like this is just these are scary times. Um, I have feelings every day about all kinds of stuff, and like anger is definitely right up there. So I just thought I would write some questions because this is how I've always felt, and this is just why I've always believed that wars. Oh, excuse me, hold on. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. That's not a real thing. But I don't, I've always believed that wars are just, they're pointless. They're just pointless. They're always for greed and power. But anyways, so I'm gonna move on. Thanks for listening to whatever that was. I just didn't want to make this whole episode either serious or not. So I feel like I can achieve a little bit of both. So, anyways, like this is just a complete departure from what I just said. So this past weekend, if you've been kind of following lately, I've decided to wean myself off of my Wellbutrin and Prozac, and this has been going on since November of last year, and it's currently March. And I had like an interesting weekend. Um, Sorry about all the TMI, but I've said worse. So what did I do on Saturday? Oh, was it Saturday or was it Friday? I pissed out my butt. Yep, I haven't done that in a long time since I had Sylvester. Um, I was pissing out my butt and I was barfing and I had like entire body sweats. Like my whole body just started sweating. And so basically like the withdrawal from these meds isn't the greatest. Withdrawal in general isn't very good. Maybe I should have given a trigger warning, even though I don't like that term, because I know that there's like people in sobriety maybe wouldn't appreciate me talking about like withdrawal, even if they're just from antidepressants or whatever. Um, but I know that, just in case, maybe don't listen for a few minutes. Um, so now this is embarrassing, and this is why I'm telling you don't do what I'm doing. I'm really not trying to convince you to go off your meds the way that I am. This is why you don't, or at least consult with a doctor before you do so, because I don't know if this is dyscalculia or what, but it never crossed my fucking mind that I could cut my pills, not the Prozac because those are capsules, but the Wellbutrin, that I could cut those in halves and quarters. So Alicia, the other day, she stops by. Um, she just got back from like dog sitting at Janice's last night. So those 10 days are done. She's back. Hallelujah, because I can get back to functioning like a normal human being. But, anyways, so she stopped by here the other day, and I was like not doing too good because it felt like I had the flu, even though I know I really didn't. And so she just was like, well, how come you're not cutting them into halves? I was like, what? Because I was taking the full dose of Wellbutrin, which was like what, 450 milligrams. So that's 3 pills. So in my mind, the way that I decrease is going to be 3 pills, eventually down to 2 pills a day, eventually down to 1 pill a day, eventually down to spacing the 1 pill a day. Like, I had this whole thing. It never dawned on me that I could cut my pills in half. She's like, yeah. So we looked at what I had left because, like I said, like, I'm not going back to the VA to get these refills. I don't want to go to the VA anymore. I don't trust them. And I just kind of feel like I'm over the meds. Um, I've been on them for 10 years. Like I'm ready. And so she helped me come up with a better decreasing system. And now I'm taking like halves of the Wellbutrin and it helped with doing away with my headaches. It just helped. Like, gosh, why don't I think like normally? Is that even like maybe it's not normal thinking? Why don't I think like that? I was like, dude, I'm so smart. And like, duh, we have a pill cutter. I use the pill, what is it called? A pill splitter? When I'm doing like our old people meds every week, and because I do hers too. And so, like, I have to like cut pills in halves. And, I do it all the time, but just never for myself. So, anyways, that's definitely helped. So, the way that we're on, the way that we're on, oh, the way things are going, I should be off of my meds in like 6 weeks. So, and then we'll see what's going on at that point. But anyways, so that was a weird situation, and like the mood swings are a real thing. And sorry if you heard that sniffle or whatever. Uh it's very weird um to get off of your meds. It's a very weird experience. And I was telling Alicia when she had stopped by and after we went through like how I was going to decrease properly now. I was like, what is really annoying to me is it's so easy to get people on meds these days. Like it used to be hard. And now it's just easy. Like if you say you have anxiety, here's a med. If you have depression, like let's get you on this, and this. If you have this, here's that. So easy to get you on these meds. But like, who the fuck is sitting there? And also in the same conversation saying, hey, so like, let's develop like a plan or something for like, like who's talking about withdrawal? Who's talking about like, should you be on these for the rest of your life? Like, should we see how things go for the next year and where you're at and revisit on a regular basis? Do you know what I mean? Like, why aren't there any discussions about like, you know, um, or like why isn't there more, I don't know if research is the right word, about like, should people really be on meds the rest of their lives? And is that just an easy way to do it instead of dealing with withdrawal and like what that's going to, I don't know. Like, why aren't you telling people about like the effects of staying on these for years and years? And like, do you want to stay on these for years? Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm sure you do. Where are those conversations? Um, because I was talking to somebody else and, like they were pretty surprised that I was doing this as quickly as I was and was like, this is something that can be like a years long process. And I don't disagree. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's too late now. And I really do feel okay with where I'm at. Like, I don't feel like I need to get back on these. I don't feel like I've lost my shit and I'm losing control of myself. I don't feel like that. I'm just having good days and not good days. But the chat that I had with this person was like, it was enlightening, and I was like, yeah, like why isn't this being talked about more? And so when I was talking to Alicia about this, she was like, it wasn't that long ago, and they're still doing this, but like for the longest time, it was straight up complete gaslighting. Doctors saying you can't withdraw from antidepressants and that's not a thing and da 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 da. I had no idea that like doctors were doing that. Because these are the only two meds I've ever been on in my life. Like I haven't played to the medication game or anything like that. These are just the only two. Like I took them, they worked, I stayed on them, and now I'm trying to get off of them. And I appreciate and I'm grateful that I have support and access to resources and stuff like that and people who give a shit about, it's just I appreciate all of that. But I'm really irritated and very disappointed that these aren't discussions that are being had like they should be like no brainers, you know what I mean? So what the fuck? So sick of like just the medication, like money, 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 money is all people want in that business. But anyways, so yeah, the tapering's going way better now that I'm taking halvesies. And then the last little bit of where am I at with time? Okay. I don't really have a whole lot to say today. That could change tomorrow. Who knows? Um, I got rejected by a dog yesterday, and it was all in my mind, but I really think it happened because that's how I felt. So, like, yesterday was our last day with Maddie, which is like Nadine's dog, but it might as well be Janice's and Nadine's dog because they're sisters and they're, but anyways, so the 10 days of Alicia living next door has come to an end. And like yesterday, or actually it was last night, we went over there one more time to feed her. I was playing with Maddie while Alicia was like putting together the dog food. And Janice had wanted us to get like half and half. Well, she didn't want us to get it. She wanted us to check her half and half in the fridge. And she's like, does it smell good? Because like I can just tell like she really wants to come home. She really wants to just have a normal day when she wakes up, which would have been today. I haven't seen her yet. And probably just wants to have a good cup of coffee and not have to worry about like old ass half and half. I don't fucking know. So Alicia just bought her some anyways and forgot it in our fridge. So she realized she forgot it, left to go walk next door to get it. As soon as she walked out, Maddie lost her shit. She started crying, and this is like not that the breed matters, but for in case you're picturing it, she's a schnauzer, very pretty dog. Um I could go on and on about that dog, and I don't even like I like dogs, but they're not for me. But anyways, this I'm sitting there and the dog starts yipping and whining and ran all around the house, back and forth, goes out into the garage. I could hear her out there, like just whining and barking and whining and barking, runs back into the house, jumps up and looks out the window. Where did my nanny go? Where did my nanny go? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, whoa, am I not good enough? I'm like, what the fuck? This is ridiculous. Like, I felt utterly rejected by this dog. Like, it lasted for like a whopping 2 minutes and I got over myself, don't worry. But like, it was just, I did not expect that. I've never seen Maddie do that to Alicia. And I suspect it's because for the first time in Maddie's life, she got to leave the neighborhood and go to like park and do some walking. Like Alicia took her to Green Lakes 2 Saturdays in a row. I don't know that she's ever been there or just out, like I said, out of the neighborhood. And I feel like I told Alicia, I was like, you just opened up this dog's world. This dog is going to love you for life. And sure as shit, isn't that just like the perfect reaction? Just to say thank you so much for showing me that there's more to this life. And so, anyways, Maddie's in the window. Bark, 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 whine, 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 and then silence. And I just see her, and I know she sees Alicia coming back into view. And Alicia comes in, and that dog couldn't be happier. And I was like, that was an odd experience. And I told her about it. And then I go to leave first because I told Alicia, I don't want to have to listen to that again or see it. That was so sad. Like, I almost cried. That poor dog sadness. And I was like, I get to leave first and you have to deal with this. So, like, I leave and then Alicia, like, she goes to leave a few minutes later and she had to listen to Maddie be so sad that she left. Alicia's like, I almost cried. But she told me that when I left, Maddie gave me a little bark, like, oh no. So I'll take what I can get. Yep, I just shared that story. But whatever. And that's all I have to say. So I hope there was some autism besides myself in this episode. And thank you very much for listening. And I'm gonna attempt to do this without like sounding cringy. So hold on. I know myself now. Let me just bring this up because I can't advertise for myself off the top of my head because I go blank. I'm trying to bring up some links. Sorry. You know, I need snacks too. Mm, And that sounded really cringy. I don't really need snacks. But bill money. Okay, so I have a book. It's called Welcome to Yourself. It's on Amazon. All these links are in wherever you can find this description to this episode. I also have like a mini course that has to do with like the way that we think. And so in case you're wondering, like, why does your brain work the way that it does? It's just a little course about autistic thinking. Uh, and I have do you see how this is going? And I'm reading right off of like, I really need to like make money so I can afford a marketer, but then I don't want to because like I'm afraid that's going to be even cringier. Mainly what I want to promote on here is my $50 Adult Autism 101 course. It's $50 because I feel like it it should hopefully be at the affordable point for a lot of people. I don't feel right at this point in my life charging any more than that. All this course is all of the information that I could find, like a bulk of information about adult autism and different terms associated with like autism, different cultures that experience autism, sensory stuff, aging, healthcare, anything that you can think of that has to do with like us being adults and autistic. I've put in the course. It's just like I want to save research as much as possible because we do love to do our research, but sometimes like I like to find things where everybody like somebody else has done all the research for me and just put it together and it just saves me. Oh, hold on. Oh my God, that's anxiety. That was an anxiety cough clearing thing. Oh, I regret that. I don't know how to edit it and that all of this has to stay in. But if you go to the website thingy, oh my God, just scroll down, you can see reviews that people have left. Maybe they can convince you to give the course a chance. And I'm just going to stop right now because I realize how this sounds. When will this get easier? Anyways, I put a lot of work into this. I revamped the course recently because I wanted to reword things. I wanted to include some stuff that I didn't have before. So it's not like it stays like this is it forever, because I always want to update and improve. And it's not like I'm going in there every day doing this. I've done what I needed to do. Um and I really feel like it could be a benefit and an asset to your, if you're just discovering that you're autistic, like I really recommend you checking it out. And if you could tell your friends or something, thank you, and say it better than I did just now, okay? Because I'm sure you can. Oh my God. Um, okay, thank you for listening to this episode, and goodbye.